Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today there are many investment platforms to choose from in New Zealand. If we look back just 5 years, New Zealand has had very few options to choose from, and the ecosystem has developed quickly over recent years. Today I'll be reviewing the top 5 investment platforms in New Zealand in 2022. I'll be reviewing Sharesies, Hatch, Stake, InvestNow and Kernel, all of which are domiciled in New Zealand, except for Stake, which is based in Australia. Each of these have their respective strengths, so make sure you watch this video right to the end, as I'll be sharing my thoughts on who each platform is probably best suited for. The platforms will be assessed on the following 5 factors: products and markets, interface, security, service and speed, and fees. This offers a number of ways to assess each platform on their strengths. Let's get into it. The first we'll be looking at is the products and markets. Now, Sharesies, Hatch and Stake offer investors access to invest in both stocks and funds, also known as ETFs, all of which must be publicly listed and sold on a stock exchange, such as the NZX here in New Zealand. InvestNow and Kernel are a bit different here, as they only offer funds. InvestNow allows investors access to around 150 funds managed by external financial institutions, similar to the types you'd find with your KiwiSaver, such as Milford, AMP and Fisher funds. Kernel has 11 funds, which they manage themselves, and are unique in the market and often ESG focused. Therefore, if you want access to buy individual companies, stick to Sharesies, Hatch or Stake, which each have literally thousands of investment options on each. If we look at markets, Sharesies is king here, offering access to stocks and funds in New Zealand, Australia and the US, whereas Hatch and Stake only offer investments in the US. InvestNow and Kernel offer only New Zealand domiciled funds. However, many of these are often diversified into these other markets. For these reasons, Sharesies is a clear standout performer in products and markets, as they have a broad offering of each. The second factor to evaluate is the interface. Do note, however, that all I can do is assess this on my own experience, so this may be different for you. Sharesies have a fun and clean user experience, which makes it very easy to operate. Hatch is slightly more technical, with a wider range of options when it comes to setting up stock purchase orders. Hatch has a very different look, and is definitely harder than the other two to get used to, and again is more technical than Hatch when it comes to setting orders. Kernel's interface is one of the easiest to use among the 5 platforms, and while all these platforms have access to a mobile-friendly interface on phone, InvestNow is stuck with a website that isn't optimized for mobile, and on desktop their interface is not as swish as the other platforms. For these reasons, I find Kernel has the cleanest interface here, and the ability to drill down into the portfolio holdings and invest on the go makes it my favorite for transparency and ease of use. The third factor is security, which is an important consideration and a lot of people's concern when they first sign up to one of these platforms. Fortunately, all 5 platforms hold your shares in a custodial account, meaning it is held on your behalf in a separate entity from the investment platform. So essentially that means your funds can't be used for their operational costs. So for this reason, I'm pretty comfortable with the security for all 5 platforms. The fourth factor is service and speed. Now, just like for interface, this is something I can only evaluate based on my own experience and maybe something different for you. There are 2 areas to this I'd like to analyze. The first being customer service, and the second being transaction speed to process deposits and withdrawals. I've had excellent experience with Hatch, Stake, InvestNow and Kernel, who all offer a range of contact options, including the ability to call their local number, request a callback, email, and in the case of Hatch, it has an excellent Facebook community group run by their staff. Sharesies, however, have grown very fast in recent years, and it can take over a day to receive a reply from their customer service teams. Though Sharesies lacks in this area, they excel in speed, as during a business day I can easily deposit or withdraw funds within a couple hours through bank transfers. Kernel typically takes a day, Hatch and Stake a couple of days, as the funds need to be exchanged from New Zealand dollars into USD. However, InvestNow can take up to a week in my experience. However, this is understandable, as they need to transact with external fund providers to unlock those funds. As Hatch has the best customer service and a reasonable transaction time, I rate them the highest in this area. The fifth factor is fees, and for many, this is the most important. This can get very nuanced, so I've made a summary table to show this. Kernel is the only provider that has a fixed charge of $3 each month for investors with a balance over $1,000. However, this is the only fee they charge, and their funds offering has one of the lowest fees in the New Zealand market. Stake also have an optional fixed charge of $9. However, this is only for those wanting advanced trading tools. When buying investment products, only Hatch and Sharesies charge a fee. Sharesies has a fixed percentage fee, while Hatch charges a fixed fee for trades less than 300 shares. When combined with the FX, or foreign exchange fee difference, the approximate break-even point between the two platforms is $750 US. If you typically trade less than this, Sharesies may be cheaper, and if your trades are higher than this, Hatch may be cheaper. Stake also charge a foreign exchange fee of 1%, which is higher than the other two. Overall, InvestNow is the most competitive around fees, as they charge investors nothing to deposit and invest. Just make sure you do your due diligence around the management fees of the funds on the platform, as generally managed funds have higher fees than index funds. So what platform should you choose? This comes down to a few factors for me, and if I were you, I'd ask these following questions. Firstly, how much will my average trade be? Secondly, what markets or investments do I want access to? Or thirdly, do you value the simplicity of the platform over the features? Based on the above, I think there is a platform for any investor. For those with the average trade of less than a couple $100, and you want a simple platform that offers a broad range of investment options, Sharesies is worth looking into. If your average trade is upwards of a few $100, and you don't mind only having access to the US market, Hatch is a good option. If you are a trader and want access to advanced features and order options, Stake has the most functionality. If you want a simple platform and a few select funds to buy and hold with a high amount of transparency, Kernel is worth looking at. And if you want to invest in a broad number of funds managed by New Zealand's leading financial institutions with low fees, InvestNow might be a good option to look into. So there you have it, guys. If you like this video, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it, and it really helps out the channel. If you have any comments, questions, or want to add your opinion to what I've shared, please comment down below and I'll be replying to everyone that posts. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.